The Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change has released its sixth assessment report on climate change. According to the report, the climate change issue is going to wreak havoc on the planet with rising sea levels, increased precipitation and drought situations, melting glaciers and ice caps, and so on. The report released by IPCC is titled as Climate Change 2021, the Physical Science Basis. In this video brought to you by Believers IAS Academy, we'll be looking at this report released by IPCC. What is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change? It is an international body for assessing the science related to climate change. So this body will conduct the required research and it will provide the scientific data that is required for policymakers to craft the policy, so that governments across the countries, international organizations across the countries can make informed decisions while dealing with climate change. This institution was established in 1988 by the World Meteorological Organization and the United Nations Environment Programme. There are totally 5 reports released by the IPCC. So the 6th report which has been released now, it is not a complete report, it is the first part of the report that has been released. The second part, the rest part of the report will be released by 2022. So the first report by IPCC was released in 1990 and the last one, the 5th one, was released in 2014. That was before the climate change conference in Paris. There are 3 working groups in IPCC which makes the assessment report. So the first working group deals with the scientific basis for climate change. The second one deals with the impact, vulnerabilities and adaptation issues. And the third working group is going to provide with the solutions, the options that we have, what we can do in order to deal with climate change. So they will deal with actions that can be taken to combat climate change. So in this report, the Physical Science Basis, it noted that the global net zero by 2050 was the minimum required to keep the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The report has suggested that even if we carry out the best procedure possible, it is highly unlikely for us to stop this 1.5 degrees Celsius rise from happening, the average temperature of the planet from increasing from the right now temperature to the 1.5 degree Celsius. It is very difficult for us to stop that. But in order to get that, we have to achieve the net zero limitation. So net zero is basically the planet being able to remove the excess carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere and reduce the emissions to close to zero, and at the same time we should be able to remove the excess of CO2 that's present in the atmosphere. So we have to strike a balance between this, so that we are not going to emit more carbon dioxide, which is going to result in increase of temperature, which is going to result in global warming. So it sets the stage for the Conference of Parties 26 conference in November 2021. So this discussion will take over in the COP26 conference that is going to be held in November 2021. It will be based, they are going to discuss the report released by IPCC. What are certain features, what are the points that has been mentioned in this report? First of all, it has said that heat waves and humid heat stress will become more intense and frequent over Southeast Asia during the 21st century. So near to the Southeast Asia, we are going to witness more heat waves, increased heat waves and humid heat stress. We are going to witness increase of monsoon rainfall and also overall annual rainfall, and monsoon rainfall especially. This is going to result in flash floods and it will also create drought-like situation in the future. So apart from that, heat extremes have increased. Okay, this trend has been following for a while. We have been seeing heat extremes increasing and we have been seeing cold extremes decreasing. So this trend is going to follow for the coming decades. And the glacier runoff in Asian high mountains will increase up to mid-21st century, and subsequently runoff may decrease due to the loss of glacier storage. So we are going to see the melting of glaciers in mountains like Himalayas, and then over time, by the middle of 21st century, it is going to drain a lot of glaciers, and since the glacier storage will be very less, we are going to witness the decrease of river flow. So that is going to directly affect the livelihood of a lot of people, and we are going to be seeing drought-like situations. So relative sea level around Asia increased faster than global average, with coastal areas loss and shoreline retreat. Regional mean sea level will continue to rise. So as sea level is going to rise, the report is indicating towards many cities being not able to be habitable in the coming decades, because sea level will increase and it will take many coastal areas to its territory. So the key points: average surface temperature. So it says that, the report says that within 20 years, that is by 2040, we'll be seeing a complete 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in the average temperature of the planet, and by 2050 we'll be seeing a 2 degrees Celsius increase in the average temperature if we are not going to make a sharp cut on the emissions. Secondly, the carbon dioxide concentrations. The carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere right now is the highest that we have seen in the past 2 million years. This is going to increase the temperature of our planet, and we have already depleted 86% of our carbon storage, and the carbon dioxide concentration has been increasing, and we need to cut it down. And the impact of global warming. So just like we have said before, the sea levels are going to rise, and there are going to be heat extremes, increased precipitation, and followed by drought-like situations, and melting glaciers and ice caps, both in high mountain areas and even in the polar areas. In Indian subcontinent specific findings, it's saying that the Indian Ocean is warming higher than the other areas, and also it talks about monsoon, where monsoon will be increasing highly. We are going to see an increase in monsoon precipitation, and also heat waves. Heat waves are going to be very high. So about net zero emissions, it says that all man-made greenhouse gas emissions must be removed from the atmosphere through reduction measures. And what we can do, what is the way forward? First of all, we have to resort to drastic and immediate cut in carbon emissions. For these countries should come together. Those countries which are making very high carbon emissions should cut it down. They should agree for technology transfer for third world countries to take the best practice possible, and also countries should join the net zero emission coalition and try to work towards achieving net zero emission. And we should also have credible, concentrate and enhance national determined contributions and policies. Especially the first world countries should be following this and try to cut down their emission as soon as possible, because if we do not do that, the humanity, not just the humanity, the life of this planet is in danger. And I would say, we can say that this the threat of climate change is much more dangerous than the COVID-19 issue that we are facing, because this situation is irreversible, and if the international community do not make a immediate action plan, we are going to face the consequences. So that's all about it. For more such videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on social media and join our Telegram channel. You can visit our website, and through all these you are going to get access to our UPSC related materials, our daily current affair materials, editorial analysis, quiz, answer writing practices, and even infographics and much more. You can also in our website contact us. We can see our contact details and you can contact us regarding any kind of UPSC related guidance. Thanks for watching the video.